Hi, I'm James the Box Office Artist, and welcome to another tutorial, and it's one that a lot of you have been asking for, and today is how to construct, draw, and render a female head. Okay, so I'll be honest with you guys, the female head, if you think about the way the skull is for the female head, it's very similar. Like, honestly, it's almost the same as the male head. There's just some very slight differences when it comes to the female head. So again, in terms of construction, guys, you should be thinking the same. Whether it's male or female, you should be thinking the same. Okay, so I'm gonna repeat some things that I talked to you guys about in the how to do a human head, or at that point it was a male head. I should rename that to the male head. So some of those principles still apply. Okay, so we're going to start off with a sphere. I'm not calling this a circle. I refuse to call it a circle. I'm going to call it a sphere and just make sure that it'll be dark enough for you to see. Okay. Dark enough for you to see here. Okay, so we got what looks like a circle, but honestly it will be a sphere. So meaning I'm imagining this line going all the way around the sphere, okay? Okay, so that is like the top part of the skull, and then I will do like a box here like this, okay? Very similar to what I did with the male head. Okay, so some things will repeat here, but there's just some subtle differences here. Okay, so again, this would be more like I'm imagining this more like a square, okay? And then we have another line here that goes around the sphere here, but I'll instead let this line continue down to the bottom here, so we have the line now. Okay, and then we will have a cylinder that sticks up right in the middle of this sphere here. Okay, so we have our three shapes here. We have a sphere, we have somewhat of a cube, a shaped cube, and we have the cylinder that makes the neck. Okay, so again, it would help, guys, if you have not seen my how to draw the human head. Really, it's a male head. I would go watch that first before watching this particular video here. Okay, it will help you out a lot. Okay, so what are the main differences between the female and the male skull and head? Well, there's pretty much just two areas of the skull that's a little different. And I think the most obvious one, guys, the most obvious one is this part here. It's the jaw. It's the jaw. The jaw on a female, no matter what size, it's a little bit more slender. It's not as hard edged as a male. And that will help already. Like even turning it from the square into this soft curved line here, that already helped a lot in making this feel a little bit more feminine. Okay, and the other part that's different for the male is actually it's the brow. Okay, it's the brow, where the brow is. Men are a little bit more pronounced, like it would stick out more than a female. And then again, if you look at different females, it's all different for every person. Like, everyone has a different skull. Everyone has a different skull, so you'll find that varies. But I find the biggest difference will come with the jawline here. Okay, so right now I'm going to construct this very similar to the way I did it in the human head. Okay, so I'll start with a plane here. So I know the ear will be somewhere around here. So I'll just rough that in. Okay, so this is the side of the head. Like, I'm imagining planes here. Like, this is a plane here, this side. This is plane here on the side. Okay, and then of course we have the eyeball. And again, as you guys know, whenever I'm thinking eyeballs, I'm thinking of skulls. I'm thinking of the eyeball that's going behind the skull here. Okay, so now we'll cut to the forehead here like this, and then how this will, comes out a little bit. This forehead comes out a little bit. Okay, and then the eye would be somewhere around here. So I'm thinking of the way these folds of skin will go around the eyeball here. Okay, so in all honesty, you guys, when it comes to drawing, this really is the most important part here. What we're doing here, this is the construction part of the drawing. That's the most important part. You know, like all of you guys know, I'm a very detailed artist. I like to have tons and tons and tons of detail. But I'll tell you, it doesn't matter how many lines I put on. If the structure is not there, it doesn't matter how many like rivets or lines, or I can draw all the pores I want in this face. That won't stop it from being a bad drawing. If the construction of your face is bad, your drawing is going to be bad. There's no way around it. I'll be honest, a lot of you have sent me some drawings, and I took a look at them. I haven't replied to everyone yet, but I think that's one of the main things. The main things is the construction of a lot of the drawings I've received needs a little bit of work. I'm not saying it's bad. It's actually, a lot of them are pretty good. It just needs a little bit of work. Just needs a little bit of work. But then there were a lot of them love to finish, like added so many lines, but at the same time their structure wasn't down, so it didn't matter how many lines they had on. It really affected the drawing. The structure wasn't down. So let me keep going here. So we have the forehead here. So I might even lift this brow line a little bit. It might be a little bit too close to the eye, where the eyeball will be. So I'll draw another line here, like this. Okay, so you see where I'm going here, right? So what I'm doing here is I'm just putting these dotted lines so you can see what I'm thinking. You'll go like this and around. Okay, so you can start feeling the 3D-ness of the face, okay? So very, very similar again to what we did earlier. Okay, so now let's get this nose in here. So this nose, I'm gonna actually draw a shape. It's kind of like a, we'll call this a, what's this called? A cone? Kind of like a cone, but not really. So we want, from the structure from the eyes, this little part of this eye here should match up to the side of the nose. That's why I'm drawing a line down here. And then I am drawing this shape here. Okay? And then I'm imagining what kind of shape, because the shape will be actually sticking out a little bit more here. Okay, so I'm just trying to imagine how her bridge would look of her nose. Because again guys, thinking in 3D, thinking of 3D. Am I gonna draw all these lines in the final? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I'm just trying to imagine where everything is at this moment. I'm thinking of this nostril here, how pronounced I want it to be. And again, there's no way I'm going to be drawing this line here. You know, the nostril here. Okay, and have the whole nostril here, and then this is the outer part of the nostril. Okay. And then we have the upper lip that kind of curves forward a little bit from underneath the nose. And then I'm going to draw some lips, okay? Now the lips, which I did mention before, the lips should come right from the center of the eye down. Proportion-wise, it's usually something like that. So go from there, and then I'm going to actually go here and sketch these lips. So there's a line going across here like that, down. Actually, it wouldn't go down all the way because this face is in perspective a little bit. Okay. So so this is the upper lip. So usually we have this fold in the lip here like this. Maybe I'll have her mouth just a tiny bit open, just a tiny bit. And then I'm gonna draw the bottom lip here. Okay, let's make it a little bit pouty. Just for this particular female, I'm giving her a little bit more fuller lips than I would for a man. But really, the construction, guys, it's really going to be in the details to make this really look like a woman at this point. Okay, so under the lip, so that means that this lip is protruding out a little bit. So I'm trying to make like a little fold of skin under here just to, whoops, right, one away. There you go. We'll pull the skin there. Okay, and then we have your chin here. And I might give her a little bit more pronounced cheekbones, just a little bit. So I'll just curve it out there, like that. And then let me draw the iris here. I'll let her look at us. I'm looking at you. Looking at you. Like that. Okay? And then just rough in the ear, but I have a feeling I'm going to cover this with hair, so I'm not too worried about this ear. Okay, it'll go down like this, and then remember the skin's attached here, and then we want the skin to come down here like this. So again, this is a woman, so like for this particular woman here, I'm making her neck just a little bit thinner. Okay. Okay, and then from here, I try to imagine what actually would show here. Or maybe we could do the thing with the shoulder here, like that. Okay, it might not look like much now, guys. Honestly, it could even look like a man a little bit. A little mannish if it wasn't for this rounded jaw here. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to block in some hair, and then I'm going to get to the rendering, because this is the construction. This is what the construction looks like here, and I will go into my rendering technique of this in a minute. But once I figure out where everything is, okay, and right now I'm just trying to decipher how this. Okay, starting with the bigger blocks. So big curvy lines here like this. One line in the back that goes down like that. Around. And then I'll have another patch of hair that will go down like this. It'll curve down like this. Right now I think our chin is a little bit too pronounced here, so I'm gonna turn that like that. Here, I'm gonna erase a little bit there. Gonna erase a little bit there. And here. So again, the hair will really come out with the rendering. Okay, so we have that going. Just gonna draw a little collarbone here, where the collarbone's gonna be. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, so guys, this is the construction. This is what I'm thinking of whenever I'm putting together any face. And what separates this face from my male face, again, biggest things are the jaw and this part of the eye, this brow part. So for a woman, it would be a lot less pronounced, this brow area here. So like, and again, if you look at different pictures of women, some have a big pronounced eyebrow. So I think the main part is this jawline. You don't want that strong. You don't want it like square. You want it to feel round. Okay, so now let's get into rendering this. Okay, and to start off, I'm gonna go with the 0.5. Okay, the 005. And here's my deal whenever I render a woman's face. When you render a woman's face, less is more. I know that's weird coming from me. It's weird coming from me. But at this particular instance, less is more. Because the more lines, for me anyway, I find the more lines I put on a woman's face, the older she looks. She will look older. Okay? Even with all of these lines here. Even though these are all construction lines. It makes her feel older. So you're going to see, I'm not going to ink all of these particular lines. Now for me, and again, all of this from this point out is a style preference. all of this point out is a style preference. This is how I particularly would render this face here. You could do it however you want. If you want to add a lot of lines, if you want to add a lot of shadow, if you want to do all those things, by all means, be my guest. Experiment. See what works for you. See what you like. See how other artists do it and try to learn from them. But for me personally, this is how I like to render a woman's face. And we always start with the eyes. I mentioned before, if the eyes don't look right, the whole drawing does not look right. The eyes need to look right. Okay? Now, especially when it comes to female, especially when you are drawing comics, one thing that really sells drawing a female is the lashes. Eyelashes. So, I like to get really pronounced with the eyelashes here. I like to keep them solid for the most part. But I will keep them in clumps. I'll do clumps of 4. So there's a 4. That's a 2. Okay, and I'll go around here. Now, some people, they would like to just keep this all as one and keep it simple. And that's fantastic. That's great. But for me personally, this is how I like to do it. Okay, so I apologize for the squeaky desk, guys. I'm going to get a better desk soon. Well, maybe not soon. I'm getting to the computer first. Okay. So right now I'm just adding lashes here. Lashes there like that. Okay. And just drawing this in part. The eye here. The eyeball. Okay, great. And now I'm going to go ahead and draw the bottom eyelash here. And the same principle. It wouldn't be as thick as this. But I like to keep this solid and pretty thick. Okay, and I'm actually going to go in here, I'm going to draw the inside of this lash here. And then this is where the eyelash touches the actual eyeball itself. Like that. Okay? Okay, so I'm just sticking up some of this lines here. Okay, now let's go ahead and draw the iris here. And for this particular drawing, I'm going to keep it pretty simple. I'm going to have a highlight going on here. That will be the highlight. And again, guys, render your eyes however you want, but this is how usually I would do it. Go in here, grab a Sharpie just to fill in those blacks a little bit more here. Alright. Okay, and now I'm going to add some little details inside here like this. Alright, great. Okay, so now here I will add a line or two inside here, which you don't have to do. This is optional, but for me, I like to add just a couple lines in here, just for a little bit of information. For example, this fold of skin here, around, you'll see me add a line that kind of goes like this. So this is an actual fold of skin on top for this eyelash here. This is where the skin meets here before the what's called the eyebrow section moves up here like this. If that makes any sense. I'm calling things thingy a lot. Okay. Now eyebrows. When it comes to women's eyebrows, whenever I'm drawing, I like to keep them smooth if I can. I don't do the shaky, hairy bits, if you know what I mean. I like to keep them, like maybe I'll do it like at the edges, but I won't do it for the whole thing. Because you'll even see when girls do their makeup, they sometimes shape their eyebrows in this manner. So I'm pretty much trying to mimic that at this juncture here. So I'll go here, grab my blunty here, And that's one eyebrow down. I might add like 1 or 2 lines here, like that. That works for me. Now sometimes, optional again, optional guys. If you don't feel comfortable doing this, then don't do it. It's one of those things you don't have to do it. I will add just 1 line like that. Just so I know, have that feel that this skin is going up like that. But again, not necessary. You don't need that at all, okay? It's one of those things I know I could always white it out if I didn't like it. Okay, let's go to the other side. Now lines we are going to do here. First of all, I'm going to draw this part of the nose. Like that. Will I draw the whole thing? Possibly, but let me finish drawing the eye first here. Okay, so I'm going to draw the upper eyelid first. Okay. And now I'm going to do my little eyebrow effect here. Now remember guys, this is in 3D. We're thinking in 3D. So this eyelash would push out. Push out. Okay. Now let's draw the bottom of the eyelid here. Very nice, very nice. So what I'm trying to do is here, I'm going to try to differentiate between the top lash and the bottom lash here. And now let's go ahead and draw this iris here. Again, we start with the highlight, and then I will go ahead and draw the rest of this eye here. Keep that black. And grab the Sharpie here. Very good. And now I'm going to go ahead and draw the other eyebrow. Okay, so this will stick out a tiny bit like that, and then I will draw the side of the face here. So that would attach there. Let me grab my blunty here, and let me finish this part off here like this. Very nice. Okay. So again, I'm going to draw a line here to represent the top skin. The skin of this particular eyelid here on top like that, okay? So those are the eyes. Look all right? They look okay? So now let's draw the nose. Now, one thing I don't like to do, if I don't have to, I won't draw the top part here, like this part here of the nostril. I'm going to avoid drawing that part. Okay? First things first. One thing you do need to draw, for sure, is the actual nostril itself. So I'm going to do that first. And then I'm going to decide what else I need. So I'm going to do this here like that. Okay? Just to imagine how light is actually hitting this nose and how much shadow, because that's pretty much what the nostril is, right? It's shadow from the light that's, you know, being blocked by that piece of skin there. Okay, so we're gonna draw that for sure. That looks pretty good. Now I'm gonna draw this line here like this. We're gonna draw underneath the nose. Okay. And now I don't think I'll be drawing the other nostril, because the other nostril will be in kind of perspective here. Now I'm torn. Should I go ahead and draw like part of that line or not? I'm not sure at this moment. What I will do is I might draw this line here. Again, optional. You don't have to do that. And you're starting to play with fire when you add stuff like this already, because you could add to the what's it called, again, less is more. We don't want too many lines on this face, okay? Like for example, I could add like a little bit of line like this, but I don't want to add too much because then it'll look like she's tired. I don't want her to look like she's tired. So you don't want to add too much underneath here. Okay, maybe I will add just a tiny bit here on the side. Nose here, and then a little tiny bit like this. And that's it. And that is it for that part of the nose, okay? We'll fix that up a little bit. Okay, so you see the least amount of lines I'm putting on this. We are making the imagination fill in the rest. Okay, we're just giving enough information here. Okay, so let's do this lip here. Again, this is optional. You don't have to do this part, but I like to. A moment, I'll add this little indent on the top lip. Not too much, just enough. And then a little bit like that. So that will be the indent for the top lip. Now, lip. Now let's draw the actual lips themselves. This, guys, is where I add the most detail in the lips itself. Because we want that wet look, we want that dark look. So I'm drawing the bottom lip here. Okay, so at this point here, before you render these lips, you have to make a decision. Where's the lighting coming from? You have to make that decision. And I have a feeling the lighting is coming from here. We'll light up this side of the face. The reason you have to think about it, it's the way that you're going to render these lips here. Okay, so again, it's up to you. Honestly, you could even leave it like this if you want to. You could. But I'm not going to. I'm going to really add some detail going in here. So I'm just adding some of these. This is the only place, those lips, this is the only place you could get away with some heavy detail. Well, and the hair, of course. But we'll get to that in a minute. Okay, so I'm just adding some little lines here representing lips. So again, when you're drawing lips, guys, I suggest take a look at lips. When you are drawing lips, take a look at some reference. You guys hear that fly? Wants to be in the video. Okay, so right now, just adding a little bit more detail here. I'm adding a little bit of shadow underneath this lip here, like this. Okay. So again, these lips, guys, this is my style. Some people, they completely black it out, you know, make it these really dark lips. Okay, so one thing I will add though is underneath this lip. Okay, again, optional, guys. You don't have to do this, but I will add a little bit of shadow here. You want to be careful though. You don't want it to look like a goatee. Okay, guys? Do not make it look like a goatee. So I'm just fixing up some areas there. Okay, now let's finish off parts of the face. Maybe grab another micron, a thicker one. Oh, we got here a 0.5, 0.5, and I'm gonna go ahead and then draw the outer part of this face here. And here, guys, you want to have a very elegant lines here. Okay, clean lines, not sketchy. Okay, and then I'm gonna go here like this. Okay, and now just gonna draw this part of the forehead. here. And now let's draw this line here like this. I'm gonna draw the neck. Have that go down like that. Okay. So let me just take a step back and see how I like it. Okay, so as you can tell, guys, it's much feminine. Very feminine. Feminine face here. Again, I don't want to add more lines. I can, but I'm not going to. The detail, where do I add my style when it comes to the females then? The detail comes into the hair and the way I render the clothes. But the actual face itself, I don't touch that much, okay? So now, let's get into rendering the hair. I'm gonna take a even thicker pen. Let's see if I can find my 0.8. Here's my 0.8. And I'm gonna block in these parts of the hair. And again, guys, I'm not really following the blue line exactly. I'm just putting in the blocks of hair where I see fit here. So I start out with big blocks and then I'm going to separate them into little blocks. So I'll show you guys that in a minute. So as you can see, I decided just to pretty much completely cover that ear. And I'm having the hair kind of wrap around here like this. Alright, like that. And I'm going to draw the other side here. We're going to let the hair curl down like this. So again, this again is a style preference, everyone. Okay, this is a style preference. This is how I personally like to draw hair. I will leave them in clumps and then I will detail them up depending on the lighting. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead with a Sharpie and start blacking in some of these areas here. Okay, so I'm looking at this now and this line probably wasn't a good line. But I'm just adding some bits of hair here and how I want it to look. Alright. Or the hair go like this. See, I'm deciding now, right now, what I think looks good. See that fly that went by? I gotta kill that fly. But I gotta get this tutorial done fast, so don't have time to go on a goose hunt right now, a wild goose hunt. So I'm going to just draw the shoulder here like this. Okay. Okay, so now few things. I'm trying to think how I'm gonna do this, because I do think I want her to have black hair. So one thing I do need to do is I'm going to go ahead with my trusty Sharpie. I might even get a fresh one for this particular part. Fresh Sharpie, if I can find one. Well, this is not fresh, but it's semi alright. So again, I'm going to go out and black out the outside. This is definitely not a fresh Sharpie, so let me grab one. Okay, this one is for sure. Yes, look how pointy that one is. Okay, so I'm gonna go in like this. I'm actually gonna okay, and I'm just gonna kind of like outline the whole thing. Trying to be careful not to smudge here, because this Sharpie is brand new. Okay. Now sometimes whenever I have like a black outline goes like this, but I know it goes into shadow, I will leave like a little bit of a white line around it just to kind of help separate it from the shadow area. And right now I'm looking at this, guys, it looks like I'm committing to give her black hair, which is fine. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill in the shadow now. Here, what I imagine it to be. I might have a more in-depth tutorial about rendering hair one of these days. Okay, so I think I committed to giving her black hair now. So, so might as well go all the way. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little shadow underneath her chin here. Mainly because a lot of what's causing that shadow is the actual hair itself. So I don't mind adding a little bit of shadow here like this. Okay. Now I'm going to outline certain areas here. Remember I said I wanted this to be more like a one clump of hair. Here like that. Okay, and if you have any questions about what I'm doing here in particular, guys, because sometimes, you know, I can't come up with the words right away to express what I mean with these sort of things. So if you would like me to clarify anything, just let me know in the comments below. Be more than happy to answer you guys. So again, whenever you're running your hair, same rules apply. Remember where your light source is, and again I said the light source is pretty much coming this way, so that you know where to place your blacks, and you know how things are going to, where all the shadow is going to be. Okay, so right now I'm just thinking of where shadow is going to hit this particular hair. Sometimes I'll add little strokes like that, just so I could, you know, have the illusion of more hair strands going through there. Okay, so Just gonna add a little bit more on this side, and then I'm gonna go and refine some of this hair. Okay. I'm trying to think exactly what would be in shadow. Would this part be in shadow? I think so. Would that part be in shadow? I think so. Okay, now just gonna add a little bit more up here. So perhaps she doesn't have black hair, because if she had black hair, I'd probably black out everything. And then leave a little room for highlights in a few of these areas here. So maybe her hair is more like brownish. She's a brunette. Or brownette. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my 8 here, and now I'm gonna start adding some detail here. Okay, so I'm going to add some individual strands, try to connect some of these Sharpie marks here. And as you can see there, I'm trying to, with one Sharpie mark, I'm making a multiple strands here. See, as you can see here, what I'm trying to create is some sort of a highlight across this piece of hair here. So that's what I'm doing there. And I just add a little bit more detail to this area here, trying to cover up some mistakes. Okay. Now, I'm gonna go back in here, add some more lines here. Like that. Okay. Oops. That was the light. I touched the light. Okay, so just adding a little bit more hair detail, hair strands here. So a lot of you ask me to, like when there's nothing to say, maybe that's when I'm going to start time-lapsing things. So, but for this, I know a lot of you are enjoying following along. So I'm going to keep this all real time. I keep it all real time just so you could follow along. And a lot of you sent me your drawings. And all of them show great potential. So congratulations and thank you for following along, for sure. Okay, so I'm almost there. Just adding a few more strands here. And again, I'm trying to think of the way the light's going to hit this hair here. See, because lighting is in direct, you know, it works well with what we've been talking about all along, like thinking in 3D. This hair is in 3D. You know, along with the faces in 3D, and the way light would affect a 3D object. That's what we're always trying to think about, and that's always what we're trying to draw here. Okay, so I'm just working on these strands of hair here. So we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. This feels a lot shorter than our previous one. Mainly because when I talked about the human head before, a lot of those principles are the same when drawing the female, mainly because we are all human. And our skulls, for the most part, are extremely similar. Very, very the same. Just slight minuscule details. Okay, looking at this now, guys, I'm inclined to make the eyelashes on her a little bit bigger when I step back to take a look at it. I'm inclined to bring down this hairline a little bit. Seems a bit high to me as of right now. Okay. I think what's distracting it is this particular line here. Like, I don't want to fill this in all the way because of the, the line weight work we did for the curve. So I was trying to see if I could get away with that white line there, because I would like to keep it in. Okay. Might add a little bit more underlash here. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit. Just a little bit more under, just a little bit more over. So I'm just adding a little bit more strands of hair here, making it a little bit more imperfect. Okay, the only problem here with this white line, it's squaring up her jaw, and I'm not liking that. I'm not liking that at all. It makes it feel a little bit more manly when her jaw is squared. So I'm just going to go in here and try to round it out a tiny bit more. Possibly get rid of that line. Okay, so then there you go, guys. This is pretty much how I would draw a female head, or at the very least what I'm thinking about when I'm drawing a female face. Okay, and this was a lot of fun to do, and the reason I did this video is because a lot of you have requested me to do this video, so thank you so much. And then let me just add a couple more things just to finish this particular drawing off. Let me just add like a one here like that. This shoulder's weird. Okay, guys, but so this is how I draw. This is what I'm thinking about whenever I draw the female figure or female face. Now, my advice to you, though, is to learn how to draw a female face or any sort of face. I wouldn't just stop with my tutorial here. I would honestly go draw from life. Go draw from life. A lot of you have been asking me to do a female figure tutorial, and I will eventually do one. I might do that one for next week. How to draw the female body, but my suggestion to you is you cannot substitute real life. You just can't. You just can't. So I would encourage all of you, start drawing from life. Okay, and I'm not talking about photographs. I'm talking about from actual life. And that will improve your drawing so much if you start drawing from life, guys. If you could find a place where you are, hopefully it's not so expensive. Find a place where they do life drawing, and do life drawing, doing gestures and all that. And maybe that's a tutorial I could do one of these days, is showing you guys how to do gesture drawing, because that can help out immensely, learning how to life draw. No matter how cartoony your drawing is, life drawing can help anyone. Okay, so there you go, guys. That is my approach whenever I am drawing a female face, and I hope that made sense to you. Okay, I'm actually just gonna fill in most of this white. I keep looking back and forth at it, and yeah, I think the eyebrow was too pronounced anyways. Remember before, guys, I said like it's the brow and the jaw. Those are the things that separate it from looking like a man and a woman. Like even now, I'm feeling the jaws kind of. Okay, there you go. So there you go, guys. That is whatever what I'm thinking of whenever I draw a female face. Okay, so I hope you guys were following along and that you did your own female face drawings. I'd love to see them. Okay, I'd love to see them, and I hope you learned a lot. And I hope all of you develop also your own style. Okay, it's great that you're copying me. Like I said, a lot of you are copying me, which is fantastic. That's what this is for. So good copy, but I also want you guys to try different things. Okay, try different styles. Try to find your own voice, especially if you're trying to get into comic books. That's one of the things that John Barber talked about, is trying to find your own voice. What makes you different? What is that spark that you have? What is that spark that you have that no other artist has? I just completed that line for no reason. Well, that's my own fault. I completed that line. But that is what it is. Sometimes, you know, guys, you don't even need to complete that line. See if I can put my thumb on it. Did I actually need that line? Probably not. But, yeah, it is what it is. Okay, everyone, so that is my approach whenever I draw a female face, and I hope you learned something from it. I hope this looks okay to all you guys. I'm inclined to fix the hair just a tiny bit more. Stay with me, guys. Stay with me. I'm almost done. I'm pretty much done. I just need a little bit more, just a little bit. Can't let it go. I'm inclined to bring this hair. Okay, I don't think that was actually necessary. I think that hurt more than it helped. But yeah, I don't think I needed that part. I think I kind of messed it up a little bit. Forgive me for that, guys. Forgive me for that. That's the problem with you know, overworking things. You'll end up with mistakes like that, but that's kind of weird. Okay, guys, I'm gonna, you know, this is life. Whenever you are drawing, things won't turn out exactly how you want it to. I'm gonna actually add some white out here just to see if I could salvage, because you know, I put this in because I wanted to cover a little bit more of the face here. I felt there was too much space, but now this looks kind of weird. So I'm just gonna go ahead and white some of this out. Make sure it's clean white out like that. I'm actually going to go ahead and draw it in like this. Oh, and that's looking better already. That looks way better. That looks way better. Okay. There you go. See that? Happy accidents, guys. Happy accidents. I'm just letting that dry for a second. But before I sign off, I want to once again thank you guys for watching. Please let me know what you would like me to tackle next below, though I have a feeling a lot of you want that female body tutorial. So that will probably be next before we get into perspective. And again, I'm going to do this whole series on perspective throughout September. So a lot of you have been asking me about that, so that I will do. Okay, and just adding just a few lines here. It's not completely dry. Just adding a few more lines here. But yeah, please continue to follow me on social media. Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter at Box Office Artist. Please follow me on Facebook at The Box Office Artist. And please continue to like this video. Please leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Again, any suggestions you have would be fantastic. And I will be finally doing the draw for the 10,000 subscriber artwork giveaway. And then you will see that was today, Thursday. I'll probably release that on I will probably either Friday or Saturday. Okay, so stay tuned for that. That's finally coming out, and yeah, thank you guys for watching. Okay, and there it is. Let's stop. Wait, stop. Okay, stop. There it is, guys. How to draw a female face. Thank you all for watching. My name is James. I'm the Box Office Artist, and I will see you all tomorrow.